Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Y'all said it like you're actually happy to say it again. It's been a while, hasn't it? I want to hear it again anyway. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, to the 12 tribes of Israel and the grafted in or the adopted ones with us, reaching the matchless name of Yehoshua HaMashiach. And without further ado, we had fun time. Now we're about to get the word. Do a quick prayer and we'll get into it. Dear Abba Yagin, we thank you for another Shabbat. We thank you for your word. We thank you for family, Father. Again, we thank you for all the prophecies that are happening before our eyes. We also thank you, Father, for trust and the strength that you give us when we trust you. In your son, Father, we pray and give thanks. It is so, it is so, it is so. And, well, she can't say it, so somebody can say it. Cough it up. All right, tonight we are coming out of the book of Shemot, 34th chapter. And Shemot, for those in King Jimmy land, is Exodus. Shemot name means names, names. So Shemot 34 or Exodus 34. We'll just read about the first 16, 17 verses. And we'll do what we do. All right, and it reads, And Yahweh said to Moshe, Cut 2 tablets of stone like the first ones, and I shall write on these tablets the words that were on the first tablets which you wrote. And be ready in the morning. Then you shall come up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourself to me there on the top of the mountain. And let no man come up with you, and let no man be seen in all the mountain, and let not even the flock of the herd feed in the front of that mountain. And he cut 2 tablets of stone like the first one. Then Moshe rose early in the morning and went up to Mount Sinai, as Yahweh had commanded him. And he took 2 tablets of stone in his hand. And Yahweh came down in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of Yahweh. Yahweh passed before him, proclaimed, Yahweh, Yahweh, and a compassionate and showing favor, patient and great in loving commitment and truth, watching over loving commitment for thousands, forgiving crookedness and transgression and sin, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the 3rd and 4th generation. And Moshe hurried and bowed himself toward the earth and did obeisance, and said, If now I have found favor in your eyes, O Yahweh, I pray let Yahweh go on in our midst, even though we are stiff-necked people, and forgive our crookedness and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. And he said, See, I am making a covenant before all your people. I am going to do wonders such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among whom you are shall see the work of Yahweh, for what I am doing with you is awesome. Guard what I command you today. See, I am driving you out before the Amorite and the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Guard yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, lest there be a snare in your midst. But break down their slaughter places and smash their pillars, and cut down their echelons. For you do not bow yourselves to another mighty one, for Yahweh, whose name is a jealous El. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they whore after their mighty ones, and slaughter to their mighty ones, and one of them invites you, and you eat of their slaughterings. And you take of his daughters for your son, and his daughters whore after their mighty ones, and make your sons whore after their mighty ones. Do not make a molded mighty one for yourselves. We'll end the reading right there. We'll probably paraphrase some of the rest of this. Without further ado, let us get into this. Title of the message is Your Alignment. Your alignment. When you're thinking of alignment, you may think of a wheel alignment for a vehicle, or maybe an alignment for the spine. You may even think about an alignment as far as political or even astrological reasons. In either case, the alignment is about straightly lining up, being in a correct or appropriate position, and also a position or posture of agreement or alliance. The Ibri or Eve, which we are also known in Nesme, will be known in the Dark Kana Eve, that word describes alignment would be Berith, spelled B-E-R-I-T-H. Berith. Number 1285. And what Berith means is covenant, league, treaty. Again, Berith means covenant, league, treaty. And that's one word I'm using that describes alignment that's also used in the script. You can even look at the word Esau, which is spelled E-T-S-A-H. E-T-S-A-H, Esau. Number 6098. 6098. And what Esau means is counsel, advice, scheme, like somebody scheming, strategy, consultation, purpose, plans, design. You need it again?
Yes.
All right, it is counsel, advice, scheme, strategy, consultation, purpose, plans, and design. Now, in this regard, again, it is dealing with being in alignment or a covenant/purpose with a person, place, or thing. Always remember that. Alignment is dealing with a purpose, place, or thing, especially with alliance. That's what a covenant or purpose is. Yah has always looked to Berith and Esau with his people since the garden. Remember, everything starts with the garden. And each time it has been the people, it's always been us that's messed it up. Has Yah ever messed anything up with you? No. Has he messed, anytime you look through the script, has he messed it up with anybody in here? Who's always been the one to jack everything up? Us. We've always been the covenant breakers. Specifically us as Israel, as his people. We break covenants like no other. He has taken Yisrael, the children of Israel, out of Mitzrayim, and he shares covenant with them. And then, of course, they do what we all say. They lie. Or whatever you say, we're going to do. We'll do the covenant. And let's take a look here and see what they did. They broke the covenant with reckless abandon. In Shemot chapter 20, or Exodus chapter 20, Yah gives the commandments, or vows, which we know as the 10 commandments, for his people at Mount Sinai. In chapter 24 of the same book, we see that Moshe, Aharon, Nadab, and Abihu. Nadab and Abihu are two of Aaron's sons out of the four that he had. And remember, those are jokers that died breaking Torah in chapter 10 of or Leviticus, right? Because they offered up some strange fire, didn't they? And so the thing is, you still see two people were present that broke the law later on, but they still got to be up on the mountain. Matter of fact, all of them had a face-to-face meeting and ate with the Father. And then the Father said, okay, Moshe, you come by yourself and get up here so I can give you these commandments, these vows, so you can give to them. Because I want them to have a recollection. They need to have something that's giving them culture, which is only going to come from me. No other culture or no other people has what we have. Yah's only given one culture, right? Yes. And who did he give it to? Yes. Now, was it our job to keep it for ourselves, or was it our job to share with everybody else? So the thing is, even though we didn't want to separate ourselves, look at how Yah works. Because remember, even tonight we were talking about it, is that you're going to do, I learned at an early age, you're going to do what Yah wants you to do, one way or another. Now, either you're going to get blessed and do it, or you're going to do it and you ain't going to get nothing for it. He taught us to be set apart, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh, we're going to be set apart, Father. Yeah, we love it. We want to be like them. We want a king like them.
Right.
We want to do all these different things like them. Their stuff, we got the best stuff, but I want to do because it's different, and I don't want to actually do all of this. Too many requirements for his stuff. Sin is like the only thing that sin requires you to do is just stop following Yah. But with Yah, there's standards. When we talk to somebody in here, we talk about standards, right? And when you set standards, then a person has to decide whether I want to measure up to that or not. And so they didn't want to measure up to the set apart standard, so he said, all right, I'm going to get you in the come up. Since this final, thank you, hallelujah, this final captivity that we in now, because the butt whooping is happening, this ain't ours. We already been getting the whooping in your cold trouble all this time. It's their joke. It's their time. It's the joker's time. And so the thing is, you look at, we didn't want to be set apart, right? We want to be like everybody else. What has happened in every place that we've been since 70 AD? We've always been made separate from everybody else. We've always been discriminated against. He said we were going to be the head and not the tail. If we followed, we didn't follow. And so what did he say? If we don't follow, we're going to be the tail. Yeah. And everybody else is going to be above us. Haven't we not seen that happen? What do you think Jim Crow and slavery, all those other different things? It's like we were still set apart. Nobody wanted to be next to us. Nobody wanted to deal with us. They wanted our stuff, but they didn't want us. And we still were trying to make people allow us to be like them. We still want to be like them. And y'all was like, you wouldn't live set apart from me, but I bet you're going to be set apart even in captivity. Because you remember what I told you? They're going to hate you. They're going to fear you also. I told you, we as Israel, we make people very schizophrenic and bipolar and all these other different things. They love you, they hate you, they're afraid of you, they want to be near you, they want to get away from you, they want to kill you, but they want you alive. They want to watch you, but then like, you don't have nothing, but they want everything you got. And so the thing is, we're still showing set apartness. It's just that we're not reaping the benefits of it because we didn't listen to him. So when he called you to do something, it's your choice. Like he told our ancestors, the choice is yours. But we've been around long enough to realize and seeing other people's mistakes, you know what happens when you don't follow. We know what happens when we don't make the right call. I must be walking down somebody's kitchen today. You understand what happens when we don't say yes. I learned. I'll tell y'all this real quick. I read. I didn't want to be in ministry. That was my dad. I said my little brother's going to do it. I don't want to do this because I didn't want to follow the standards. I knew what was required of me, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I ain't going to lie to you because you already know what I'm thinking. I just don't want to do it. I want to live my life. I want to do what I want to do. I might want to do some things that I know I ain't supposed to do. And the thing is, I feel like I can get away with it a little bit more if I ain't up here doing this because too much is given. Much is required, but whether you do it or not, it's still required of you. And if you don't do it, it's like, I require that behind now. You wouldn't give me works, give me that. Put them on there. Let's go on the room. We're going to have us a nice rendezvous. So the thing is, you look at, even though they were there, them two sons were there, the next book over, they get killed. They got to be there to see, they got to receive Torah. But they didn't receive it in their heart. And because they didn't receive it in their heart, they offered him something that he didn't want. Something that he specifically said in Torah, if you give me this, you're going to die. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. A lot of times we'll be there, we say amen, hallelujah, or all other different things. We know it like clockwork, but we don't know it. You can just get done hearing it. And then we go right out and climb a fool's hill and slide down, and then we wonder why we get punished. Why is this happening to me? It's like, well, did you know what the word said? Yeah. Did you study? Oh, yeah, I know. And they quote it back to you and everything. Like, did you do it? Yeah. To the best of my ability. I didn't do some of these, but I was like, no. No, either you did it or you didn't. Or you didn't. And so the thing is, what do you say? Those that they didn't know, they didn't do, they still going to be whooping. But the one who knew and didn't do, that blood whooping is going to be even worse. So you see why we're where we're at. Because we knew. He said, only you have I known. Only you have I known. Alignment. Y'all with me? It's getting good to me. Then also we go back to the 70 elders also went up there. So all the leaders went face-to-face meal with Yah, didn't die. Because remember he said, you can't see my face on there. But he gave him a mulligan. He allowed him to live. And then so when Moshe is up getting the Torah and the ordinances and the judgments and the statutes and standards for them to live by, you know what them jokers doing? Y'all remember this is just a recap for y'all. What was they doing down on that mountain?
Getting it on.
Oh yeah, they was getting it on. They were real live. The man just up there 40 days and 40 nights. Oh, he up there too long. He ain't coming there. I was like, You forget the same Yah that just helped you cross a Red Sea.
Yeah,
you ain't never seen no mess like that before. You was in Egypt or Mitzrayim for 215 years. Out of the 430, because the first 215 you was still in Canaan. But the Masoretic text just want to be funny and hide that stuff. And then so now you see all this stuff. You cry, we hungry. You send us out here to starve, right? Eat some angel bread.
You know that was us.
Have some quail. Oh, we thirsty. Well, yeah, we still thirsty to this day. Look at us. We ain't got nothing to drink. Man, I'm gonna check into that rock. Before I hit these people. Stiff neck. Give them everything that they need. They don't realize that you brought us out in the wilderness to kill us.
Right.
Nigga, if I got power to do all that other stuff, I ain't got power to take care of you. Hello? I'm the one that made everything. You know, he probably should have said to them like he told yo, was you there when I did this?
Right.
Did you get your measuring tape out? Do you know the measurements of the universe? You know all this? Like, was you there? You're like, so if you weren't there, basically shut up. Let me do me.
That was cold right there. That was cold.
So he up there getting the stuff that's going to give them life, and they choosing death. And I don't make us a God to worship. We got to worship something. And y'all remember what he did? He said, give me the right earring. Just one earring. Right earring out of all the women and the kids.
All children, yes.
That's how much wealth our people left with the first time. We're going to leave again with some. And what did he do? Let me make him a God. And they was happy with that. Let me make this golden calf. Now, what's the first letter in the alphabet?
Aleph.
So, remember I told you before, nobody ever wondered why they made a calf. Because in Aharon's mind, well, this is close to, since he's the Aleph for us, he's the Aleph and the Torah, they like to say Alpha and Omega, then this is what I'm going to liken him to. And he also remember that they had like some type of bull fallen deity that they followed in Egypt as well. So let me give him something that resembles something that they're used to. And mix a little bit of our stuff in it too, and that'll be good. Torah says what? As a matter of fact, the first one that he told about the 10 was what? Don't cheat on me. Don't put nothing else before my face.
No.
Like you married to your husband or you married to your wife, and they're gonna put somebody else in front of you and talk about, oh yes, so and so they do this and they do that. Like you don't shut up. Like last time I checked, our names is on this certificate. It's like you better get it together. You know, there's many husbands that end up having cold dinner or don't have nothing at all. There's many wives crying because she ain't got the stuff that she would like to have. It's like, no, you married to that person evidently because that's where you want to be. So let them take care of it. And that's what Yah says to us when we don't align ourselves with the vows. First one, they was breaking it. We break like at least 6 out of the 10 within 5 minutes sometimes. And that's for the ones that know we still supposed to follow it. But we ain't under the law no more, y'all. We ain't. There's nailed to the cross. That's what they say.
A cross.
That's what they say. That's the cross.
I don't receive that.
It's nailed to the cross. Now you remember, we all know what happened. He came down, whooped some people. 3,000 people had to die because what did it say? Whoever's on your side. That's when the Levitical Levite priesthood came. Because what they do, they said that whole tribe said, you know what, we're going to strap up.
That's the whole tribe.
And we're going to kill our own people. Because the thing is, they were jealous for Yah. They were angry for Yah. And so he said, oh, y'all love me like that? Okay, all y'all got to do is just minister in my temple. And everybody got to pay y'all. Everybody got to take care of y'all's needs because y'all took care of my thing, so I'm going to take care of you. And all because they followed. And you see what happens when you follow? You get things that you weren't even thinking about. You get taken care of.
Yes, you do.
When we follow, but we ain't got to follow it no more. We ain't got to do it to sin because we under
grace. The laws are done away with.
God's love.
Y'all
he don't do that no more.
He
don't deal with that no more. Oh, at the cross. At the cross. Where our flags fly. Ain't that what they do? And the birds of my heart roll away. Ain't that what he's like? No, player. It's still stuff you got to do. Matter of fact, let's do some biblical calisthenics real quick. Let's go to 1 Yohanan or 1 John, chapter 3. Oh yeah, we're gonna have us a little bit of time. I took some of my time on me today. Chapter 3, we're gonna read the first 10 verses. Yeah, that sounds good. 1 Yohanan or 1 John chapter 3. Start at verse 1. You go a little something like this. See what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of Elohim. For this reason the world does not know us, because it did not know him. Beloved ones, now we are children of Elohim, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Now remember, he's the Word made flesh. He's the Torah made flesh. And everyone having this expectation in him cleanses himself as he is clean. You can't be clean if you're lawless. Everyone doing sin also does lawlessness. And sin is lawlessness. Or King Jimmy says sin is transgression of the law. But it's done away with. And you know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. Everyone staying in him does not sin. Everyone sinning has neither seen him nor known him. Little children, let no one lead you astray. The one doing righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. The one doing sin is of the devil, because the devil has sinned from the beginning. For the purpose the Son of Elohim was manifested to destroy the works of the devil. The devil works in lawlessness. That's why he's known as the son of perdition, or the lawless one. Everyone having been born of Elohim does not sin, because his seed stays in him, and he is powerless to sin because he has been born of Elohim. And it's saying he ain't living habitually in sin. Right?
Right.
Now, do I need to explain it more? That's self-explanatory, right? Mm-hmm. Verse 10, and this, the children of Elohim, the children of the devil are manifest. Everyone not doing righteousness is not of Elohim, neither the one not loving his brother. So if I'm not following Torah, because following Torah, that's why you end up being righteous following Torah, and he is the living Torah, the Torah made flesh. Again, he said, I didn't come to do away with it.
You can't
fulfill it. If y'all are the same guy yesterday, today, and forevermore, and we can sit up there and quote, I changed not. He said, I changed not. But all of a sudden, he's going to change and flip up on us and be like, you know what? On this, I'm changing. You ain't got to follow that. Oh, because it's renewed, or the Berea Hadashah is because it's the renewed covenant side. We ain't got to worry about that now. That's the Old Testament stuff. Now, that's original covenant and renewed covenant, so it's still the same thing. It's just that you broke it. That's why we got to renew it.
Right. That's why I had to get rid of it.
That's all. But the thing is, if we want to say that that's original covenant side, then the blessings is the original covenant side too. You don't see the blessings of Abraham in the renewed covenant side unless they're talking about it. But where was it originating from?
No.
Prayer Yabez. We want to talk about enlarge my territory. What side is it on? It's on the left side. The one was saying enlarge my territory, bless me. That Donald Lawrence song, that's where he basically piggybacked it off of it. Mm-hmm. All these blessings, all prosperity. Give me. Oh, I'm a child of Zion and blah, blah, blah. And you said in your word. And you're like, yeah, but what side of the book was most of that on? The side that y'all say we ain't got to work on.
Right.
What we got out of the renewed covenant side, what were they getting their information from? Because remember, the renewed covenant wasn't written during their time. They were starting to write it, but we didn't get all the books that we have now. What were they quoting? Original covenant stuff, right? So the thing is, they want to try to get you away from Torah. Because the thing is, they know that you got to look at that, and we don't want to do it because what? It's conviction. Don't nobody want to be convicted that's immature. Again, we want to sit on the mountain with you. We want to eat with you. We want to see you face to face. But then after you leave, we want to do what we want to do. Because what? I don't want to be in alignment with your word. Your word is true. And that's why a lot of people don't want to read the script, because once I read it, I see it, and now I don't have no excuse. Before you could just say, well, I didn't know what was in there. It still don't mean that you didn't sin, and you still don't get in trouble. And what did y'all learn? When you sin and it's brought to your attention, what you supposed to do?
Change it. Repent.
And what is repenting?
Turn
away from it. Not do a 360, you do a 180. Right?
Yes.
Y'all with me?
Yes.
When we get to chapter 34, back in Shemot again, what we read, chapter 34, we see that Yisrael is at Mount Horeb. And we see that Moshe has been instructed to cut 2 stone tablets like the 2 tablets of witness that Yah gave him originally. So remember the first time Yah cut them out for him. This time Yah was like, you know what, you going to cut it. You broke it, you cut it. You need to cut it. The first time at Mount Sinai is when he got it, so what? He's like, now you're going to do it again. And then he tells Moshe, now not only I'm going to make you cut it, now I'm going to send you right back to the very place that I gave you to ride in the first place. So you lead the people at Mount Horeb, you go back to Mount Sinai, and now you're going to sit up here for another 40 days and 40 nights, and we're going to do it again. And this time you think about, well, I don't want to cut them, I don't want to break them no more. I don't break them. And see, the thing is, when you break the laws, what happens? You got to come back to where it started and get it all over again. Mm-hmm. When we break the laws this time, where do we got to go back to? So that what? We can get it instilled in us again so we don't break it. That was even prophetically showing it for us when he did that. He broke that and then he had to go back. We got to go back. Every time we break it, we got to go back. What do you think you're doing when you ask them to forgive you?
Right.
Why are you asking them to forgive you unless you did something wrong? You broke something.
Right.
And when you break something, what do you got to do? Some of us are trying to hide it. I didn't do it. We're trying to put it off on somebody else. Like, no, it was you. I saw it before it even fell down. I knew you was going to do it when you walked in here.
Wow.
So the thing is, what are we supposed to do? Father, I broke your commandments. I broke your Torah. Forgive me. Help me not to do it anymore. I know that I got a condition. I want to do what I want to do instead of following you condition.
No, that's the condition.
And I need you to help me. Because when I break your laws, I end up being broken. Again, remember I told you, a covenant had to be renewed. That's the first time that there was a renewed covenant. Before we got to it was considered the renewed covenant sign. Because what I tell y'all, the only reason that you need to renew a covenant or a vow is when it was broken. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's why I look at this phenomenon of people renewing their wedding vows, and I'm like, did y'all have a good marriage so far? Yeah, has everything been to your liking and stuff like that? Of course, you have your good days and bad days, but nobody's broken covenant, right? No. So why are you renewing it?
I never really thought about that.
I know.
Why are you going and buy another white dress, you buy a tux and all that other stuff when you didn't already done that? You know, I don't believe that our ancestors are going back and doing another ketubah. You know, that man will be like, you know what, I done already paid a dowry, I'm not paying another dowry. I did that already. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, if nothing was broken, what is the old adage? If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Don't fix it. So you don't need to keep on renewing every time. Now, if you basically like when we was an organized religion, you come down every Sunday to ask for forgiveness for the same daggone sin, then that means that you never actually had Torah in you. You're just looking for an excuse. Be like, well, I just want to get out of jail free card. But the thing is, you're not aligning yourself. You ain't in alignment with Yah and His purpose for your life. And that's how we know when we're in alignment, because we keep on doing the same thing over again purposely. And just say, oh, well, organized religion told me all I got to do is just ask them to forgive me or say 3 Hail Marys and Catholicism, organized religion, version, all these other different things. But instead of actually allowing Torah to get in me and loving Torah where it hurts me if I break it. Mm-hmm. When you actually in a relationship and you really all out, it will hurt you. Mm-hmm. Yes. To think about stepping out on them, because it will hurt you to think about them stepping out. You know how many women probably look at their husband like, you love that man so much, and with all your heart so hard, you just look at him sometimes and be like, man, if you cheat on me, I'll kill you.
Lay your hands on him.
You just think about for a split second, and he ain't never done nothing to give you a reason, but you just think for a split second, ooh, if this man would cheat on me, if this man would leave me, Oh! And so the thing is, when you think about that, that means you got that much love. That's how you should feel about Yah and His Word. I don't want to break it. Because hurting you is hurting me because I love you so much. I know it's hard. I know there's things out there that's meant to try to get us out of alignment with Yah. But the thing is, like, I am so in love with you. I care about this relationship so much. I don't want to hurt you. I gotta stay in line. Even when I started, I want to go crooked a little bit. I remember, I love him too much. I ain't gotta wait for testimony during Shabbat service. But I just start thinking, yeah, he done been too good to me. I ain't never experienced love like this till I met you. I ain't messing this up. I'll be a fool. All this love you give me, all this power, all these different things. And the thing is, yeah, we can get on our ancestors, but look at what we do today. We see what they've done. The reason why we're where we are is because they didn't love him like they were supposed to. They didn't follow his word like they were supposed to. And what are we doing today? But I love him. Oh, how I love she. Y'all can't know what that's like? Because he first loved me. Ain't that what that's like? And then you go around, you ain't even hear the benediction all the way good, you all start singing. But you love him. Do it. I just got done preaching that and tore the church up, as they say. And then you go out and just wicked as all get out. Prayed a prayer and heaven just heard you, just brought heaven down with that wonderful prayer. And you about to do something that's going to get you put in jail. Because the thing is, they were doing the acts. They were following the motions of Torah, but they weren't actually allowing Torah to align them to have the proper motion. Y'all got it? Y'all with me?
Yeah.
And we're making it plain enough.
Yes.
Now, in this renewing of the vows that were broke the first time, pay close attention to how Moshe responded when he was in Yah's presence. What did he do? Goddamn. He bowed. A lot of us is prideful and stiff-necked. Yeah, I know you're in the presence. What we end up doing tonight? We took shoes off like you're on holy ground.
Tell me twice.
Take them shoes off. You know where you at. You know whose presence you want to take them off. And nobody fought to take it off. One person even had them taken off for him, so they didn't have to worry about it. It's like you just supposed to go the other thing. But the thing is, like, when you're in the presence of Yah, you have to strip yourself of the things that you're using for protection. Because the thing is, when we get barefoot on the ground, what we're doing is showing that we are trusting Yah to protect us. I'm saying that, I'm submitting to you. I know that when I'm in your presence, you got it. I think that y'all probably feel that way being around me now. Y'all like, oh, bro, here. We cool. We all right. We all right. And the thing is because it was proven. When a person does the actual function that Yah put him in, then people will see that and they'll be like, okay, this person's all right. This is fam. When you're out there in the hood, you got that cousin that's from the suburbs, they don't know nothing about their life. And you always make sure that when you take them around, you let everybody know, hey, this is my cousin from so-and-so.
Yeah.
And then there's like that unspoken word that don't mess with them. And if you see somebody around trying to do something, they in your care too because you're part of me. And so the thing is, we look at when we are actually following this, then Yah saying, you know what, you on my block. So as long as you're on my block, I'm going to take care of you.
Right.
As long as you stay in alignment. Yeah. With the very thing that people telling you, you ain't got to do. And the thing is usually, just like what did the enemy tell Hawa in the garden? Oh, you ain't got to follow that. I know what your man said. I know what Yah told him to tell you, but you ain't got to worry about that. He just don't want you to have no fun. And that's what the flesh and sin and enemy does to us today. And now they use religious folks and people that's supposed to know this. Oh, you ain't got to do that.
You ain't got to do all that.
You ain't got to do that. You don't take all that.
You don't take all that.
Come on, man. We ain't got to do that no more. You're making it too complicated. Like, no, you complicate things when you get out of this. Because this is what tells you what to do. When to do it. How to deal with stuff.
That's when you get complicated.
When you get out there in the world, you get stressed and got to take Prozac and all these other different pills.
Mm-hmm.
But when you stay in alignment with His Word, you don't need none of that. You feel released and relieved.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't running all up in people's counseling sessions and in their hospitals and popping pills and always anxious. We said be anxious for nothing. But with prayer and supplication, make a request known. And by the way, I ain't going to listen to you unless you follow the laws. So the thing is, when anything that's trying to keep you away from this should be a sign to let you know, hey, I don't need it. I don't need it. We all have to be in a position of posture or alignment. As I said before, the definition of alignment, one of the things was a posture or position of agreement. He was agreeing that Yah's who He is, and that He loves Yah. Whatever Yah says, He's going to follow. And He did pretty good up until He hit the rock instead of speaking to him when Yah told him to, because people made him so mad. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. We can't allow people to make us so angry that we break the rock. Because He'll let you see the promised land, but you won't be able to cross over.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I ain't do all this just to not be able to touch, just dip my toe in the grass. He's like, I'll let you see it.
But you ain't going in.
You know that house that I have been promised to you is going to have if you follow my word? You get to see it, but you ain't never going to move into it. That relationship you wanted, you get to see it, or get to see somebody else enjoy it. You'll never get it. Those giftings that you was really wanting, and all that power that all of a sudden you're going to be able to move into, I'll let you see it. But you ain't going to get not one whiff. Because I need total alignment. Not part-time. He ain't no part-time lover. You're like, either we in this together all the way, till the wheels fall off, and they ain't never going to fall off because I'm a good mechanic, is what he said, or this is where you get off. Well, it's kind of that choose either day type thing. Mm-hmm. And that means that I got to be in a posture of alliance or agreement with Him. We can't be like our ancestors. What you say we would do? Well, they weren't listening. Somebody was hungry. Somebody was like, well, you know, I still miss the leaves and the melons. Somebody said, well, you know, Sister so-and-so looking kind of right in that robe. So-and-so will say, you know what, well, I want what that brother got. You know, his goat look better than mine. I want that goat. I want that gifting. I want that anointing. Why I got to have this? Why mine look this way? All these other different things that start to come in somebody's mind when your mind ain't staying, or they say, I woke up this morning with my mind. Ain't that what they used to say? What they say was staying on?
JC.
And they was lying because it wasn't. But they say hallelujah anyway, right?
Yeah, they did.
Saying I'm praying with my mind. We ain't messing with nobody. We ain't messing with nobody. But we got to be what we say we are. Or we need to shut up. Being what you say you are is by being in alignment. Yah showed Moshe that he is in the alignment business. Because again, he aligned his face and his hands to that flow. And Yah was like, okay, he ready. Now I'm about to give him the alignment manual again, and don't break it this time. Don't walk in your own anger. And it was a righteous indignation that he had. I was like, but don't break the laws. Because Yah's like, you can be upset, but I still don't want you breaking my laws to show how upset you are, because then you're in the same boat as them. You're already dealing with lawbreakers. Don't you break it, because everybody's looking for an excuse not to follow this. See, look at them. They ain't doing it. Look at brother preaching. He's saying it, but he ain't living it. Look at mother on the motherboard. So you sit up here and then you want to tell me that my skirt is too high, but your legs don't close. Can we be real?
Yeah.
Can we tell the truth?
Yes.
You want to get on me about how my kids is running all over the place.
Yes. Talk about
Oh,
But yours ain't got no respect, and they talking to adults like they the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about my relationship, and you on your fifth one, and I'm still in the first one. And you talk about counseling me and tell me what I need to do to make the person I'm with happy. You ain't made 5 people happy.
Right.
Can we talk? But you know what this says? Your life is in alignment with Yah. Even though your posture ain't. Because instead of bowing to him, you bowing to you. Or, somebody we talk about it is about self-worship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of worshiping him, we were made to give him worship, to praise him. So every time we break Torah, what we're really saying is, I'm my Elohim. What we're really saying is, I deserve to be worshipped. What we're really saying is, I'm going to follow the Torah of me, i.e. flesh. What I speak is going to come to life for me instead of what he speaks. Are we there? Oh yeah, Leviathan, the spirit king of pride, is he one of them. And that also goes to show that either you're in alignment with him or you're in alignment with something else. And anything outside of him is disalignment. You get crooked. You ever been in a vehicle where you knew it needed alignment? Because you can take your hand off the wheel and all of a sudden it just start going.
Yeah.
Now, when you got in alignment, you can keep it like that for a little bit. Even if it starts to swerve, it's still going in a straight line, as opposed to going all over the place. And that's what happens to us. It's like, oh, I got it, I got it. Take the hands up, whee, and an accident. Because you had it, but you didn't have it. Because you didn't let it have you. When Yah has us, then we have everything that he has what? For us. And then he told them, I'm going to give it to you. And he already knew what they was going to do, but it's like, I still have to have covenant for it. I still got to have covenant with them. I still got to have Torah. So that when I have these standards, remember I told you, when you set the standards, can't nobody say nothing. Because now you know.
Right.
But if I don't set those standards, I can't get mad when y'all don't do it. I'm like, well, you're supposed to know not to do this. Our people just came out of Mitzrayim with all them 400 plus fallen deities and all that mess that went with slavery and all those other different things that happened to us. So you got all that stuff inside of you. Remember, they did the Passover, Pesach, right? And Feast of Matzah, or Chag Matzah. And the thing is what? They were supposed to not have any leaven, right?
Right.
Because what? Leaven represents sin. And plus it also showed that you ain't got time to wait for the leaven to rise so you can get your regular bread. And so you look at what happens with us is that even though they physically had the leaven gone, what ended up happening is that they spiritually didn't have the leaven gone. And so when you spiritually don't have the leaven gone, what do? You start to sin. You start doing the things that Yah told you not to do. And then so when it's what does the scripture say? A little leaven does what? Y'all come on, y'all, I'm firing y'all. Yeah, there you go. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. And we see that they brought leaven with them because soon as they got to Mount Sinai, man was gone 40 days and 40 nights. What happened? Golden calf. Soon as they got hungry, complaining. Soon as they got thirsty, complaining. Soon as things wasn't, comfortable for them. Oh, you just sent us out here to die. Ungrateful.
Ain't nobody about it.
Ungrateful. And ain't nobody but us that do that stupid stuff. Being good to them, and they still gonna find something. Like that was a good dinner, but then the potatoes was a little lumpy. No, I like that barbecue, but it was a little dry.
Right.
A little dry. And that tea was nice, but you shouldn't have said sweet tea because it didn't have enough sugar in it.
Right. Always some shade.
Praise God. I thank you for it. Right?
Always some
They
shade.
don't know how to serve people over there. They just come on, all these other different things. Because when you're not allowed to write, you ain't never satisfied. You can't be satisfied because this is the only satisfaction you ever gonna get.
Hallelujah.
Why do you think the people that's outside of this is still searching and still
Yes. Hallelujah. Yes.
But why not align myself with it because it's done away with, right?
Right. It's not right.
What we under again? Y'all tell me, because I'm still new to this. What we're supposed to be under now? Because we ain't got to do this no more. So what we under?
Grace.
I guess I'll make sure I know that for the future.
Right.
And so the thing is, alignment business didn't happen for them. So what? They started becoming crooked. Just like all the nations around them. Again, we're supposed to be set apart, but we want to be like everybody else. And that's say you see, like these rich kids, especially you look at these American Gentiles, they want to be about that life. I had cousins because I grew up in the hood. Me and my sister, we was black sheep of the family on one side, and on the other side it was much, we had our thugs and stuff like that. And I would have some younger cousins that was like, they want to listen to the hard music and, wanted to be out there, had that thug life and, want to be whored, like we like to say, and all that other stuff. Now realizing you have something I wish I had. I wish that I didn't have to worry about what I was going to eat. Going to school and you don't have nothing to take for lunch, and you might have like a sandwich with very little meat in it. You make your parent makes enough to where you're poor. You don't have much, but they don't want to give you free lunch. So you make enough just to be considered. I don't need that, but at the same token, not enough to actually be sustained.
Right.
Living in places that nobody should have to live in. Having to wear hand-me-downs, all the other different things you got to go through. You sit in a nice place, in a nice area, you got grass. Only time I see grass is when I go to school.
Wow.
And it's if the school ain't in the same area that I'm living in, or we go somewhere else. I'm used to seeing broken glass and all this other stuff. You sleeping and it's peaceful. I'm hearing gunshots and bottles and people screaming and fighting. That's how I go to sleep. That's how I wake up. Like you're not satisfied with having the things that I would kill for. A lot of us was killing to try to get something. Like, what do you think the brothers selling drugs and all this other stuff? They trying to find a way to get that. And here you are. You have the blessings, and you want to be like the joker that ain't got nothing. That's us. We basically were the rich kids. Did our ancestors leave Mitzrayim straight up rich? They were so rich, that's why I said took one earring. Man, go on, cat, they jokers, they were stupid rich. When you get so rich, you just don't even see the value in it anymore. You just do stuff. I'm going to eat some frosted mini wheats with diamonds in it because I got so much.
I can.
I'm going to drink gold water like Moshe made him drink when he pulverized that golden calf, made him drink. I'm just going to do some silly, stupid stuff because I just got such an abundance, I don't know what to do with it. And this is us. We want to be like everybody else. We don't like having a true and living Yah, the only one. We don't like having number one. We don't like being different from everybody else. And no matter what you do, Israelite, Hebrew, I'm talking to you right now, especially those on TV land, nothing that you do is going to make you look like everybody else.
So not.
We stick out like sore thumbs. You can try if you want to. I tried to hide that. And what I got to be, I can't hide, but I tried.
We all did.
And the thing is, when you realize you can't hide, just do what you're supposed to do. Give him what belongs to him. Stop being like our ancestors. Who was always the people that are spoken of about being a crooked and perverse generation or a nation of people? Who was the one the Bible was talking about being stiff-necked? There's only one people. It wasn't talking about all the other nations because they don't know no better anyway. They came in with half a day. It was us. You stiff-necked, perverse people, you generation of vipers, you dirty snakes. You stiff-necked folks. A person with a stiff neck needs an alignment, don't they? Mm-hmm. A person that gets crooked needs what? An alignment. When your spine is out of line, it messes your walk up. It messes up how you present yourself. Mm-hmm. Sound like somebody needs alignment to me, right? We've always been in need of an alignment. Again, what do you always got to do something to us? Because we always complaining. We always acting a fool. We always doing everything else. Or he says, don't go this way. Oh, I must go this way now. Don't put your hand in that dog's mouth. It's going to bite you. Oh, I must do that. Don't stay in the middle of the road. That semi's coming. Oh, I got to stand here. Right here with this yellow line. Where's the spot? If you do that, some bad going to happen. Well, I don't believe that. Let me do it anyway. And then you wonder when you get God why it happened. It was like dumb. You wasn't in alignment with what I told you. That's why we're in this captivity we in now. This final again, hallelujah. I can't say that enough. Because we wanted to do everything else than what he said. And then they also made sure that we would do that. Because in times past, we always still knew our culture and we would always go back. Because we have them in us. And so when times finally got tough, we knew what to do. We start crying. Everybody start crying out. Father, save us. Well, I tell the kids all the time, like, call them. Call them. Remember they made a song, call them up and tell them what you want. But what they did to us this time is they made it where we couldn't call them. Because we forgot who we were. And then we weren't going to call them because we got so dirty because we got away from this. And then they took this and made it crooked to keep us out of alignment with it. Again, that's why they tell you, you ain't got to do that. You can eat whatever you want to eat. All you got to do is just pray. That was done with. Everything's been done away with when Mashiach got on the stake with the crossbeam. Everything was just done away with. We ain't got to do nothing no more. They misquote the scripture. You had liberty to do all, or they forget it and say you had liberty to do all things, but everything ain't meant for you to do. It ain't expedient. No, but we misinterpret what grace or hin really is. It's protection, and you only get protection when you're in the boundaries. When you step out of that, you're out of what? Grace. But we ain't got to stay in alignment with Yah's word, right? My job is to tell you ain't got to do it no more. Well, that's what it is if I'm in organized religion, right? Right. You ain't got to do it. And then there's even people that know who we are, that know our heritage, they still say that same mess because they fleecing the sheep. Their agents sent to keep you bound. So you can't get. Y'all with me? Mm-hmm. We almost there. The purpose of Torah / the law is to keep us in alignment with Yah and what he has for us. Now, I know there's some people that ain't going to like me. His word is his teachings, which also is Torah. Because Torah means what? Law, teachings, direction, instruction, custom. So a person that says that the law is done away with is basically saying Yah's instruction, his direction, his customs, and his teachings are done away with. Now, how does that sound? Why would he say train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get old, they want to depart from it? But then on the same token, they're saying, well, he's saying you ain't got to follow his instructions no more. For all the people that got kids, are you going to say, well, now I told you to clean your room, but now you ain't got to clean your room no more? You ain't got to clean your room because your older sibling, they paid for all of it when I got them. I whooped them, so you ain't got to clean your room no more because I punished them. It was paid in full with the belt on their behind.
Lies.
You ain't got to clean your room no more. Because the older sibling paid for it. You ain't got to do your homework no more. You ain't got to be respectful no more. Because the older sibling paid for it. Does that sound like y'all? Again, the wages is sin, but how can there be wages? How can it be considered sin if there's nothing that's speaking what, showing you what sin is by doing the complete opposite of what it says? Y'all with me? Mm-hmm. Y'all still love me? Y'all ain't mad at me, right? Because somebody is. Y'all ain't mad, are you? No. Like I will if y'all get mad. No. You know what happens with that. We must stay in his teachings, his instructions, his direction, or Torah. And again, all that still shows what? Alignment. Instruction gives you alignment. Direction gives you what? Alignment. You align yourself with that GPS on your phone, but you can't align yourself with Torah. And you don't know where that's taking you because you ain't been where it's taking you. That's why you ask it, you put it in. Okay, tell me how to get to this place. I don't know how to get to Sesame Street. Let me put it in there. Tell me. But with this, Yah is plainly showing you. Follow this is where you're going to end up. If you don't follow this, you're going to end up somewhere where you ain't going to like it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to hear no crying. Because you knew. I done told you, baby D. You know what happens when people go along with that, we don't have to follow Torah no more? It's called lawlessness. Everyone who gets out of alignment with Torah has a life or a lifestyle that is out of alignment. You end up being cursed and don't even see that you're cursed. Punishment comes to those who are not in agreement with any type of law. Speed limit says 45. I'm doing 75. I saw what it said, but it wasn't for me. Because that was done away with in my life because I didn't want to follow it. I wanted to go 75 miles per hour instead of 45. So why? But the thing is like, you see them lights. Oh, we slow down now because we realized I got caught because what? I was breaking the law because of lawlessness. I decided what I wanted to do. I decided that that law didn't apply to me.
Oh my God.
Because in my life, it was done away with. But she got paid the price, so I ain't got to follow the speed limit. It's whatever I say it is. Right? Wrong. And the thing is, you know when you break the law because when it comes to judge you, when punishment comes, you sing a different tune. But then some of us still get prideful and stiff-necked and want to argue it down and be like, well, I didn't really break the law. And mad because somebody's calling you on not following what it says. Don't get mad pimping, just follow it. That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do.
And if you don't want to follow it, then you're being unrighteous. And we know what happened to unrighteous folk, don't we? And then the thing is, all you have to do is look at the lives and the lifestyle of the people that say we ain't got to do what Yah says we have to do. Look at how they live.
Right.
Look at what's going on in their life. Look at what's happening with their family. And then tell me, do you want that kind of life? You know, what they do now is they look for alliances that they've made. They want those, you know, those philosophical, those religious ideology, theology type things, and secret societies with Boule, Masons, Templars, trying all them other different things that are not of Yah, even though they try to tell you that they are, is a lie. Oh, here we come. Come on, frat and soror. All you are, especially all people like you, are Israelite, and you call yourself Greek? Negro, please, don't you need to look in the script and remember what the Greeks did to us. And then you're going to brand yourself with that foolishness. And look at what happened to our ancestors when they got, before they even got here on the shores of Africa, when they were sitting, they was already branding them. And you're going to align yourself. The thing is, you don't realize, with those secret societies, frats, sororities, all this other stuff, you are sitting, putting yourself in alignment and agreement with a fallen deity, a demon. You're marrying yourself. You're making covenant with that thing. You know how many people that's been in that stuff when they got out and getting clean, they had to have them demons cast out of them that was attached to that very thing that they went into? They all about it. I don't see nobody standing and stepping for the word. I don't see nobody struggling for the word. I don't see no decals on license plates and in the windows and stuff like that for Torah. They tell you that's done away with.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other stuff. Oh, we rep that hard. And say that you're a child of Yah.
Mm.
You want to align yourself with this. But you align yourself with the things that he hates and he said, I'm coming for. Somebody mad. Moshe was on the mount with Yah again for another 40 days and 40 nights, as we said before. Y'all remember what is number 40 symbolize? Let's see if y'all remember.
The trial period.
Oh, okay. Praise Yah. It does. She's right. A test, trial, or probation period. 40 days and 40 nights when Messiah was what? Fasting?
Mm-hmm.
40 years that the people was in the wilderness walking around in circles till all the older ones died out except for Caleb and Yehoshua. Not Yahushua, Yehoshua was Joshua. And all those that was 20 and under. 40 days and 40 nights that Moshe was on the mount. Y'all get the picture?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was showing that there's a test and a trial. Torah is our culture and one of the many things that sets us apart from everybody else, like I told y'all before. It is a culture that we carry with us everywhere. There was no other nation that had that. We carried it. And they knew it. That's why when they were coming to take us away, when we went further and further south into what's called Africa, they was always taking our scrolls. And always changing and rewriting it. So some of us got smart and started taking and branded it into paper. Because you can't do that with that. They had to rip the whole thing up. Because what the whole purpose was to change the culture, to get us away from this so that we would become lawless. Because this is what keeps us in line. This is how we get out of what we in. This is how we get protection. This is how we get blessings, prosperity. This is how we get all the things that we need. This is how we can say, he can tell us that you ask what you will in my name to be given to you because you're following this. And so they knew we got to get them away from this. They called us the people of the book. And because they called us people of the book, they also said we got to take them away from the book. What did it say in Tehillim 83? Let us cut them off from being a people. So the name of Yisrael will not be remembered. And the funny thing about our captivity is that actually helped us to be remembered as well. One, because they couldn't breed us out because we wouldn't be mingling with everybody because nobody wanted to be around us. They wanted to bump uglies with us and do stuff to us. But they didn't want to like be in league with us. And then what also helped is the daggone body snatchers, i.e. identity thieves. They kept our language still kind of being out there because what? They stole our stuff and started trying to act like us. So in a sense, Yisrael will still remember because there's somebody else that decided they want to be us.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they tried to keep us from being, we stopped being us. So y'all was like, okay, well, let's do it all the way. I'll allow somebody else to be you for right now, but I'm going to get them jokers that did it later on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to make you set apart. Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
Our culture was carried again with us everywhere we went until this last time when they stole it from us. And we lost it until this final time, but it was prophesied that we would start waking up, right? Mm-hmm. It was prophesied that he said, I'm going to make you jealous. You didn't want me before. All because you had it too easy. You just knew I love you so much. You know, sometimes you ever mess with somebody and you just knew that you had them. You just like, you know what?
They ain't gonna live.
I'm just do whatever I want because they ain't, I got them.
Yeah.
I got it on lock. And then one day somebody starts sniffing around. You're like, hold on, I ain't been treating them right. And this person is doing good. You know, this person, they coming around, they smiling now. They got a spring in their stuff they used to have. I remember I used to have doing that. And I ain't been doing nothing worthy of them to do that. So where is it coming from? You know, who? Harpo? Who that woman? You know, now you starting to want. Now you start getting jealous for them. You start getting jealous for their time now when you see that, oh, they don't need your time anymore. They got somebody else. And so what did he say? I'm gonna make you jealous. I'm gonna give the Gentiles what belong to you. And then one day you're going to start looking at you like, hold on, you know, I like the big piece of chicken too. You know, I like to be riding good too. I like nice outfits. You know, I like to go out on dates. I like to have this and have that. You know, then you're like, hold on, how did they get that? And then you start realizing that it was never meant for them to have it in the first place. And then you're like, well, if it wasn't meant for them, then what was it meant for? And then when you find out it was meant for you, then you're going to start getting a little pissy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hold on. What you doing with my stuff? How did you get my stuff? And then when you realize it's your fault, you're going to get upset with yourself. But at the same time, what you going to still say? But that's mine, though. Like somebody told me I want my homework. I know that I'm supposed to give it to you so that you can grade it. But that's my homework. I'll give it back to you, but I need my homework, though. Okay. I understand, Pippin. I know it's your homework. But no, you don't understand. I need my homework. And that's how we have to be. I need my Yah. I need my Abba.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this, I ain't even worried about as far as the prosperity. I'm just mad because you saying that my dad is your dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know how when you kids, you get jealous. Little kids start coming around and playing with your parents. You're like, hold on, this is my daddy. My mama. You got that toy and you wasn't even playing with it, but you see some other little kid come around and start touching that toy. Oh, this is mine. I want it. What? Because you don't want somebody else to have your stuff. One minute we like, you know what? Free for all. I don't want you. I done had you. But when you see somebody else enjoying and riding good, you're like, hold on, I remember the relationship we used to have. I remember when you used to hold my hand that same way. I remember you used to tell me that you loved me. I remember you used to say I was the apple in your eye. I want that again. Now we can renew. Because what? I broke it. In the beginning of this message, what did I say? Did y'all break it or did we break it?
Right.
We broke it. And I was like, I'm tired of being a promise breaker. I want to be a promise keeper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm tired of when I say I'm going to do something, y'all be like, he ain't going to do nothing. But I'm going to do it. He ain't going to do nothing because he ain't done nothing yet. That's an indictment. You can't get mad when somebody telling the truth on you. Just be like, you know, eat the conviction and be like, I'm going to change.
Right.
And I'm going to stop saying I'm going to change. I'm actually prove to them that I'm going to change by actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't change if you don't follow the very thing that they're trying to get you away from. And again, there's a reason why them dirty bastards trying to keep you away from this. Because again, he won't hear you when you're outside of this. We're going to get there. We're almost done. I'm glad y'all roll with me this long. Every time we disobeyed Torah, what happened? We got into captivity. They couldn't curse us. We cursed them. Our enemies knew as long as we have something to identify with, and that thing that gave us our identity was Yah, that we would always turn back to him. And they wouldn't be able to do nothing with us. Y'all read out here when we was on point? Oh, baby. Them jokers was afraid. When they saw that ark, they was like, hold on, they got the ark with them. Jokers started crying and peeing on themselves and everything else. They was like, well, you know, we still going to show some heart. We're going to go out there and try to fight. But they knew they was going to get tore up. You remember one of my accounts on Philistine when they found it, like, hold on, something's different. And the thing is, your enemy can tell when something like you running out there and you just think you got all that power, stuff like you think you got the juice, but your enemies can feel, hold on. Yeah, they going out there singing and all that stuff, but hold on, just wait, just quiet. Don't be afraid. Johnny, stop feeling yourself. That's something different. I know what it is. They don't have the anointing. They ain't sexy to y'all no more. They sexy to Satan. And when they sexy to Satan, it's like, oh, they in our territory. Get them.
Yeah.
And that's what they got God. And the thing is, you can tell if me and my wife, and when y'all doing what y'all supposed to do, when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, we can't cast nothing out. We can't buy nothing up. I was saying, man, you look at them jokers in Catholicism. Doing that exorcism, so them dudes be laughing at them jokers. Every now and then you get some of them that actually does have faith in Yah and actually got some juice, even though they're in the wrong thing. In organized religion, I've seen it sometimes too. The thing is, when you are actually in line with this, then you get the greater things that we're going to do than what he did when he walked this earth. And they know it. That's why they can tell when you're not following this. They can tell when you're not believing and fully trusting in this. And then it don't help you when you got people that's supposed to be telling you to do this that say you ain't got to do it. And that you'll still have power. That's not how you're going to have power. When you pull the plug. What you doing? Y'all probably don't remember. You probably don't remember. You remember the Walkman? When they had things called cassette tapes that people don't know about now.
Yeah.
Remember you had to put batteries in it? Remember you had that CD player? So you didn't care what you still had to put batteries in it? The thing is, when the batteries went dead, and then what if you didn't have no extra battery? You looking all over the house trying to find it so you can continue doing what you were doing on your journey. And when you can't find no battery, it's like it's all sadness then. Like, because now I can't complete. I can't continue to endure because the batteries are dead. And that's what's happening in a lot of people's lives. They can't finish completing what they would like to complete because what? The battery's dead because they unplugged from Torah. They unplugged from Yah. Now going back to it, look at with y'all remember with the false prophet Balaam. Even though he was a false prophet, he still knew Yah and he knew Yah was true. Because every time he went to go curse, what did Yah say? You can't curse these people. Well, Balak is promising to give me all my way to go. He's promising to give me all this and all that, and he's like, you can't curse the people. And so what did he want to do? He said, well, I'm still going to find a way to get this money. So I can't curse them, but I can tell you how you can get them to do what? Curse themselves. They curse themselves when what? They stop following Torah. They started whoring around at Mount Peor or Mount of the Opening. They started following other fallen deities instead of following Yah. And the thing is, when you took them away from this, then that's when they was able to be captivated. Then that's because the thing is, we curse ourselves. God said, I will bless them to bless you, and curse them to curse you, including yourself. If you curse yourself, you curse with a curse. Ain't that what it is? And once that happened, next thing followed is they got their head shaved, their beards cut off. We were prohibited from speaking our native tongue. We got our name changed. We got baptized under a false deity, i.e. Christianity, white Jesus. Told you was Toby, even though the name wasn't really Kunta or something else, but they still had to try to make it a Hamite type thing to still keep you away from it, even while they still showing you who you really are. But you see, when you lose your mind because you lose this, then it makes it easier for you to fall with the okie doke. Why do you think when they're showing pictures, a lot of our people, our women have long flowing hair. When they start sinning, then Isaiah 3 said what was going to happen. But what do? They wanted to cut your hair because by cutting your hair, you ain't going to have box braids and all that other stuff. So you won't have a guiding light so that when you finally come to yourself and you get a little bit of information, you ain't going to remember. Shave the men's beards off because you're supposed to wear beards. If you can grow, shave your beard off again and take your identity away. Because what the scripture is talking about beard care in here. Talk about everything that deals with us is in here. So of course, if I don't want you to get back to you, I'm going to tell you that you don't have to follow this. I'm going to pick certain things for you. And be like, oh, hey, don't worry about that other stuff. That's too heavy for you all. We don't got to worry about that no more. But no, you got a whole book. And 14 plus books that they took out of it to keep you from knowing. But we don't know why we're talking about that. But God said, ain't that what we all need to worry about? Give me a shout. Oh, we got to have mass. We only got to be here for 2 hours. Then we can go home and watch the game. Do the Eucharist real quick. Always fall into all these other things. Oh, you're a god and a goddess. And everybody's talking about the god and goddess is why they die. I know where Yah is. He everywhere. My Savior's still alive. He got up on the third day with all power in his hand. Where Anubis at? where my aunt at, where Bast or Bastet, where they just want to be cute and put her in Black Panther.
Right.
And I like what one brother said, they replaced the lion with the panther. Make us forget about the lion of Judah or Yehuda.
Oh, right.
Y'all know this thing that they do like that? That's daggone pharaohs and stuff like that. That's what they did.
Yeah.
You got all these daggone Israelites doing it. Like, man, you don't put your hands down. You're talking about some Wakanda, like, man, forget that Yisrael fella.
Yeah. Yisrael.
They can't kill us. We would have been gone a long time ago. But the thing is what? They give you something else because it's always a ploy to get you away from what's true. What's truly you. They'd rather you be an actor. And actors, they basically lose themselves and become whatever role they play. I'm tired of acting. I want to be what I was meant to be, and I can only do that when I find it in the book. Y'all love that song, don't you? Look, she all excited. She happy. Go ahead, Morgan. Get some of it. But again, when we got away from this, we lost everything else. Like I said, got our head shaved, got our beard shaved, names changed, got put under a false deity and baptized into that, lost your tongue because we couldn't speak our language. They gave us organized religion, which so many people love today. Got us eating unclean meats. Oh, I love them daggone sea roaches. No, it's scrimps, not shrimp, scrimps and lobster. Mollusk and oysters and all that other stuff. Because the Gentiles say, oh, this is good, this is aphrodisiac, all these other different things. All this is daggone sea roach. So just think you in the hood, I ain't never looked at a roach that was jumping off the table when I turned on the light and was like, man, you know what, that was tasty. Let me dip it in some butter sauce. Oh, here, come on, Porky Pig. I know they about to get upset. Oh, he giveth us swine, and we must eat it. There's a reason why the slave man, and everybody, they had chickens too, right? We love chicken too, but what's the main thing that they made sure they gave us?
Pork.
Was the pig. It was bad enough they gave us the pig, but then on top of that, they gave us the most worthless parts of the pig. Who want to eat some daggone intestines? But you know us, we make everything still seem like it's worse, no matter how degrading it is.
Ears and toes.
Oh, you look at this stupid music that they're coming out with. So things you have to look at, they wanted to make sure because they knew that if you don't eat clean, you ain't going to be clean. And again, Torah says what happens when you don't stay clean. I don't care how good sauce tastes, especially hot sauce. It's an abomination. She's looking at what's sauce? It's basically just grind up parts of the pig that you don't even know about. If you knew where it came from, you wouldn't eat it. Hot dogs.
Oh yeah, she don't know nothing about that.
Hog-head cheese.
Yeah, she don't know nothing about that.
Pig snout, pig feet, pickled pig feet, pigtails, all that other stuff. And we're like, oh, this is a delicacy. I was like, no, it's an abomination. And then old pastor tell you, quote the scripture, well, you know, you can basically eat whatever you all you got to do is just pray over it. I'm like, how is grace going to save you from eating something that he said was unclean? Again, he said, I change not. You quoted, but then all of a sudden he changed on the dietary laws now too.
Right.
And the church said, amen. Ain't that what they do? Who is it getting a little hot in here? Somebody mad online because they ain't mad here because we deal with it here. Then, oh, here we come. Here's another one, big one. They changed the Shabbat day. What's the fourth commandment? Remember? The Shabbat. And not only remember the part, which means it's different from every other day. 7 days of the week. Remember it. And when I say remember, is do it. Follow it. Observe it. But no, that was nailed to the cross too. No, we worship on the first day because that's when he rose. And the scripture said before the first day. They realized he wasn't in the tomb when they got there on the first day, but he was already gone, walking around and chilling and everything. All right, electric slide and all that stuff. And the thing is, it can't be 3 days and 3 nights if he got up almost. Ow! Ow! It's Sunday morning. Y'all should be like, Maureen, stop it. He got up! Somebody say yeah! You know, just screaming all that other stuff. And you got your throat muscles all jacked up and you're all hoarse and still ain't saying nothing.
Still ain't saying nothing.
Oh. Early morning.
Just okay.
Then we got sexual immorality. What's a big problem in organized religion? That's why they don't preach about sexual sins.
That one word.
Pass it on down to the 2-year-old is doing something sexual that they shouldn't be doing. We ain't gonna talk about that. No, we're just gonna talk about prosperity. You know, they used to tell me when I was like, just do something to get you a shower. It's your job to do the pastor's way. It's like, the word, show me where it says, you know, because if it's saying, you know, my job is just, because what you told me is just, all they just give them some sugar. It ain't your job to give them the meat. I'm like, really? Really? Well, you don't want me to get up there then. I preach too many places. Other than home and the brother ministry, big brother ministry, we had to come up with like, but that's right, because I wasn't going to adhere to the status quo. Because you ain't about to go to hell on my dime. I could have told you something that helped you to possibly think, even if you still want to act a fool, I could have said something to help you, I could have been used, but no, because I just got that. I just want people to congratulate, like, yeah, he preached a good message. What was it about? It just made me feel good. I don't know. Why do you feel good? Because it wasn't saying what Torah said. It didn't give me standards. It didn't convict me. It just made me feel good. And I don't want to feel good all the time. I want to be able to experience some other stuff too, so that I can appreciate the good feelings when I get them. That's why Shaul told us, I learned to be content in all things. I know what it's like to have something. I know what it's like to have nothing. And that taught me. Remember when Solomon said it was good that I was afflicted? Because it taught me Torah. It taught me the word and what happens when I don't follow it and what happens when I do. So it was good that it happened to me. Even with us being Torah breakers and all that stuff, it's good that all this stuff happened. So now when we get back to where we was meant to be, we understand. We got a song that the angels can't sing. We got a song that the world don't know nothing about, because again, the world don't know him like we do. He didn't know the world like he knows us. I got a song to sing now. I didn't have a song to sing. I'm going to have an even greater song to sing when all of it's over. But I got to follow the sheet music. Somebody pull it up, please. Sorry about that, everyone. Just bear with us. That's probably a little impromptu. But again, nobody knows him like we do. So after that, the whole thing with the Shabbat day and sexual immorality from slavery, and all that came from slavery because they had sex farms and all that other stuff that they was doing to us. Not only were they breeding us so they could have more slaves, but they also was having people come and get some of that brown sugar. That's why they look at us with lust. That's why they look at us and think that all we are is just sexual beings, because that's what they need to feel good about what they do to us. They always got to dehumanize you, because there's no way a human can do the things that they've done to us to another human unless they dehumanize you. The first way is that the Arabs all say, well, these are people that are cursed of their God. Is what they said when they were selling us off to the Europeans, all these other people. They cursed. That's why it's all right to do it to them, because their Elohim left them. because they didn't follow. And the thing is, they know why we was in trouble. Because we didn't do what this said.
Yeah,
Another reason they don't want you to follow this, because when you follow this, the jig is up, right? Yeah. The main culprits of this, when you look at the people that own the ships that took us, when you look at the majority of the people that own the slaves, even in this country, it was the one that stole our identity. You sit there loving, quote unquote, white Jesus so much from organized religion, and one of the main ships that they used to transport our Israelite behinds all over the place was the good ship Jesus, is what it was called. Do you still love him now? I love Yahushua. That's who I love.
Yes, that's who we love.
You know, those are still want to call him JC. He know that you're talking about him for now, but once you get an understanding of what his name really is and who he is, you know, when y'all don't know my name, I might let you go. I'll be like, hey, my name ain't Brother Pumpkin Sticks. It's this. So once you know, I'm like, you know, call me by that name because you know now. And if you call me something else that I ain't getting with that, I ain't gonna answer you. Because what I'm gonna say, you're not talking to me. You're not addressing me.
No, right.
Me.
Right.
I can't walk up to one of y'all and be like, hey, B. You know, even the most quiet one be like, hold on, look, did he? Yeah, she were about to come out today. All the things that we lost, and it's not so much that they took it from us, it's so much that we gave it up. We allowed them to do it. Remember, Esau is still upset with Father Jacob. And it was his fault, it was his decision. He gave it up. It meant nothing to him. And the thing is, it would never form anyways, because what did the father say? Esau have I what? Hated. Yeah, say it with power. Don't be afraid to say that.
Hate.
But you're cold. Have I love? The one that's the favorite, everybody always hated. Make that, come on, Uncle Joseph. Even our Father Yehuda was mad at him. So the thing is, when you realize who got the juice, you get angry. And you want what they got. And that's why they sitting in all the choice places and all that other stuff now while we in the lowest places. And they knew all, and that's why they clap every time we break Torah. Every time we eat that unclean stuff. Every time we having a lifestyle that's unclean. Every time we saying, we ain't got to do that. And he still loves us. My parents love me, but they still tore my butt up.
Right.
When I was outside of their Torah, outside of their law. We allowed our identity to be stolen because we gave it up. And then the thing is, the people that stole your identity, they gave an off-brand Torah called the Talmud and the rabbinical writings, all this other stuff. That's an off-brand. The thing is, notice they didn't stick with this. They had to come up with some different writings.
Right.
Because this gets too high.
Try to.
This got too many standards. This speaks against the fact that you can sit up there and marry a child that's like 4 or 5 years old, like their book says. This book holds Yehoshua in high regard. Their book says that he is burning in hot doo-doo in hell. This book says that there is none but Yah. Their book says that a rabbi was able to defeat Yah. And Yah had to realize that the rabbi was in a better place than him. Come on. Can we talk? No, I know it's a little bit late. Can we talk? We started late. Can we talk? But the thing is what? Is to keep people from this. You just like the people that's got the red cords around there that's in the Kabbalah and all that other mess. Notice a lot of these people that's rich and famous and entertaining and stuff like that. In these occultic practices. I remember in Vampire in Brooklyn when the devil slash vampire person got in there, that preacher that was sinning, and that's how he was able to, and they said he was able to get into Pastor Feelgood because the joker wasn't clean. That's why he killed him and took his body. And then preached that sermon that good is bad. And bad is good. That's what they want you to believe. Torah is bad. I can't follow a Abba Yah that's angry and mean and punishing people for doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
I like the one that's love. We really says, I like the one that let me do whatever I want to and still, quote unquote, love me. And I can still go to heaven and still get everything I want without doing something good.
Right.
That's why you told that you ain't got to do it no more. So they want to give you an off-brand Torah, or they give you, quote unquote, Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't speaking against people that's Christians that don't really have an understanding of what's really going on. And a lot of them jokers love y'all more than those of us that's awake.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you got to realize what you really in and actually study to show yourself approved. When we actually study to show ourselves approved, prove what I'm saying. I'm putting it out there for a reason. I ain't hiding what I believe.
Right.
I believe in the word, the whole book. And the ones that they took out that you got to find too.
Mm-hmm. I'm
not speaking against this. So when you come at me, make sure you come corrected, because you're going to look silly. Because I'm going to tell you what it says. And I'm going to say, now what you got?
Right.
So if you ain't coming from here and you ain't quoting it right, you're going to get ate up. Oh. And it ain't me doing it to you. It's the word, because the word fights for itself. All you got to do is speak it. And that's the power of Torah when you follow it. Mm-hmm. You shut people up. You open people's eyes. Mashiach was doing it with the Pharisees all the time. And that's what you see in organized religion now. And even in this awakening, there's a lot of us that are still pharisaical. Want to be legalistic and just use the law for their own power, not to help people, and you're doing it to your own detriment. That's why people is leaving these church houses. They want to say it's because of the great apostasy. Bull crap. It ain't that. It's because they ain't getting fed. When I'm malnourished and I realize what I'm eating ain't nothing but sugar, I want to go somewhere. I want some food.
Right. Absolutely.
You get tired of candy. You get tired of donuts. You get tired of cake and cookies. I want some meat. I want some potatoes. I want some vegetables. I want something that's going to sustain me. If all we have after we get to having Shabbat, every time y'all come and we fellowship together, we just have like sweets, you'll be like, I don't want that. I'm tired of cookies and juice. You act like I just gave blood. You go ahead and laugh. I want something substantial. I want something that's going to stick to the ribs, is what they used to say. But I can't get that with crookedness and being disaligned. Instead of walking in a straight line, we walking just like them KKK people walking in them zigzags. And that's the reason why they do it, because they ain't. And what do they use? All the people, the cross. And then the thing is, last one of them jokers, they Christians, right? Mm-hmm. They believe in the good book, and the good book tells them that they can do this to us. You mean the book is going to tell you? The book that's about the people that you saying that you fighting against, and you saying that the devil is actually, this is their book? Mm-hmm. And if you really paid attention and read this thing, you realize there's a reckoning for everybody that touched them. There's a reckoning for everybody that's ever did something to them. Mm-hmm. Even when they was disobedient, it still has to be paid. A debt has to be paid. Now how you feel like I get to do something to you because you was bad, and your Heavenly Father allowed me to do this to you and be able to lord over you, but I still got to pay you for the fact that I got to lord over you. Right. Y'all with me? We almost there. I know y'all keep on saying he told us, and he's still here. Have you ever noticed that when you were a child that your parents, during correcting you, may have said, I need to knock some sense in you. I need to touch you up. You're out of line, or you must be all out of whack. Those are Ibria Eve idioms, by the way, which is just another way of saying that you need an alignment. When the steering wheel, like I said before, starts turning, it lets you know when it ain't straight, I need to go and get aligned, or I'm going to be in the hospital, or probably dead. That indicates that I'm out of line and I need to get in line. Right. Yisrael was out of line with the whole golden calf experience. They were out of line, always complaining again. They were out of line for all the other stuff you touched over. Mm-hmm. I want water. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I want some new sandals. Why we out in the wilderness? Why you don't talk to us? Oh, you want me to talk to you? Okay. Oh, no! No! We don't want to hear from you. No, we'll listen to Moshe. No. You sure? Because you ain't gonna listen to him earlier. No. We deals with Moshe. Let you talk to him. Always. What you just like to say, trying it.
No.
Mirabah is what they did. And it's like, how can you do that when he's giving you everything? Again, what did you tell Moshe? Give them this. And we need to be just like Moshe and bow down and honor him. And that was the other thing that I liked. That after Moshe bowed down is he asked for forgiveness. He repented for the people. Now remember, Moshe didn't do nothing. He was up on the mount. But he's asking Yah to forgive him and them. And that's indicative of what the Mashiach do. The Mashiach he knew no sin. He didn't sin, and what did he do? He put himself in there for it. He made himself a ransom and then asked Yah to do what? Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And what did Moshe do after he bowed down? In verse 9 of the text of 34 Shemot the Exodus, he said, I pray, Yah, please be in our midst. Yes. Even though we are a stiff-necked, unaligned, disaligned people. Please forgive us. Please forgive our crookedness and our sin, which is transgression of your law, your Torah, and take us as your inheritance. We're going to be a people again. Who the people? We the people. No, that's one thing that they put right in the whole Constitution. We the people, but it just should have said we the people as far like us as Yah's people. They take our stuff. And the funny thing is, you don't want to follow the laws, but some of the laws that Yah had in His Word that was for us is in these laws of this land and other places. So, if you ain't under the law, then don't be against somebody that's in homosexuality. If the law is done away with, then don't say nothing about nobody that's doing pedophilia. Don't say nothing about somebody killing somebody because that's in the law. Don't say anything about anything that's dealing with wrongdoing or sin. Anything that's unrighteous, don't speak on it. You shut up. You can't say nothing. Because the same grace that saves you when you don't want to follow Torah, the same grace that gets to save them, where they can act a plumb fool just like you and get off. Because all they got to do is say, oh, Father, forgive me. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I do it. All while I'm still sinning. Father, forgive me for the sin I'm about to do. Amen. But you see the foolishness. And then we go with itching ears to people that will tell us this to make us feel better about what we're doing. You know how many people that ran away from me or other people like me? But they always end up having to come back. When you realize, shoot, y'all done tried to run. Some of y'all done tried to run before. Sometimes he made me go and get you like the shepherd's supposed to, and other times like they'll come back. When they starving and when they hungry, oh, they'll be back. And then what did Yehoshua or Joshua say in Joshua 24:15? He said, if following or serving Yah seems evil in your eyes, choose you this day. Who you going to serve? You going to serve them or him or yourself? But as for me, in my house, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to follow Torah.
Right.
Can I get a witness like they say?
Yes. Right.
In Devarim or Deuteronomy 10, 12 verse 22, you write that down, we ain't going to read all that. We see the essence of Torah. You mean Torah got essence, but it's done away with. And in chapter 11 of Devarim or Deuteronomy, it shows how love and obedience to Torah is rewarded. You mean we get rewarded for following something that's done away with? All right, let's go read a little bit of it. Yeah, but we ain't coming back next week because it's more play too much. Chapter 10, verse 12. Devarim or Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. We can sit and listen to all these daggone artists, and you can sit and go to Wakanda for 2 hours or something like that. We can sit And here it is. We can go to Janet Jackson and Escape and all them other jokers and be there forever, standing on our feet the whole time. Then we can, you said you 8. Deborah 10 and 12. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now, Yisrael, what is Yahweh your Elohim asking of you? But to fear Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being. Self-explanatory, that's all I want you to do. Fear means honor and reverence me and walk in my ways. And what is my ways? My instructions. What is my instructions? My direction. Torah, the law. That is done away with, right? Did he say it was done away with? Mm-hmm. Where we get that from? Because y'all have to say it. If they saying it, they're saying this in churches. So I know y'all had to say it. If they say it, right? The preacher said it, so y'all said it, right? Because the preachers, the oracles of y'all, right? Right? The prophets in these places prophesied that we ain't got to do no more, right? Right? And the apostles, ain't got to do no more. Y'all be doing the high voice again. Y'all make me mad doing that. All right, let's go to chapter 11 in Deborah and Deuteronomy. And I'm just going to read verse 26 to 28. See, I'm setting before you today a blessing and a curse. The blessing when you obey the commands of Yahweh your Elohim, which I command you today. If you obey his commands, what is his commands? His instructions, his directions. What is his instructions and his directions? His Torah, his law. Follow him, you bless. Don't follow him, what happened? You curse. You already said it with your chest. The Torah was also to be kept in our hearts by active recital / living and teaching them to our children. Hence, train up a child in Proverbs, Mishlei 22, verse 6. The kids, y'all make sure y'all remember that one. Proverbs 22, verse 6. The word train used here is kanak. Number 2596. Kanak is spelled C-H-A-N-A-K. And of course, that's an English transliteration. And it means train, dedicate, dedicated. So what is it saying? Train or dedicate your child in the way they should go. We're set apart people. We're dedicated. So as long as we do set apart things, we stay dedicated. Again, present your bodies. Oh, dedication. When a person doesn't want to do something that is righteous, they always make excuses for why they don't have to do it. And then they ultimately attack the very thing that is righteous and the standard because it convicts them. Hence, again, it is done away with and we no longer have to do it. Out of alignment, right? Mm-hmm. Many have gone as far as to lie on the apostle or emissary Shaul, you know him as Paul in King James land, saying that he said we don't have to follow Torah anymore. Paul said it. Is Paul or Shaul, does he have precedence over Mashiach? Because I remember Paul or Shaul clearly stated, follow me as I do what? Follow Mashiach. And Mashiach said, anybody come preaching a different good news, they're preaching a different message, don't listen to them. Right? Even the jokers that say they don't believe in the new covenant side from the Israelites, they're saying that they still like to quote Shaul a lot, don't they? Everybody always going to lie on Shaul. I'll be mad if I was him. But don't be lying on me. And it's because they don't want to follow Torah anymore. What did Kepha say? Kepha is Peter in King James, for y'all that didn't know. Kepha told us that Shaul's writings would be misinterpreted and misunderstood, resulting in lawlessness and destruction. And that's in 2 Kepha, or Kepha Bet. 2 Peter, chapter 3, verses 14 through 17. I'm glad you asked Morey to go there and read that. I'm so glad. You said Morey 3. I heard you. I heard you cry. I heard you fortified. 2 Kepha Bet, 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 14 through 17. And And it reads, we're going to get done sometime now, y'all. So then, beloved ones, looking forward to this, do your utmost to be found by him in peace, spotless, and blameless, and reckon the patience of our master as deliverance, as also our beloved brother Shaul wrote to you according to the wisdom given to him. And who gave him that wisdom, I wonder? And as also in all his letters speaking to them concerning these matters in which some are hard to understand, hint, hint, wink, wink, which those who are untaught and unstable, no, don't do it to them like that. Those who are untaught and unstable twist to their own destruction, as they do also the other scriptures. That's why they don't just twist to their destruction Torah, but they twist all, look at what they're saying. Again, prove what I'm saying is wrong, because I'm saying what the scripture says. Verse 17, you then, beloved ones, being forewarned, watch, lest you also fall from your own steadfastness, being led away with the delusions of the lawless. I can't be lawless unless there's a law. Right?
Right.
Or am I just thinking too deep in this? Maybe y'all pull the ball right back. Maybe I done gone off kilter. Maybe I done got out of alignment, and his word is true when it's what I want it to be. Y'all still with me? I don't have that point right here. We hungry. My mom needs us to do the will of y'all. I know that sounds heartless. He didn't come to do away with Torah or the prophets. Remember, he said that. Mashiach said, I ain't going to do away with the law or the prophets. I came to do what again? Fulfill it. Not I came to bring the pain hardcore to your brain. No, I said, I come to fulfill this very thing. It ain't done away with because it is done away with. I'm saying I'm done away with. I'm still here. Sitting on the right hand of the Father. If Shaul is saying something different from what Yehoshua said, then he is disobedient. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
Shaul was commissioned by Mashiach. So who are we going to listen to? The one that was commissioned or the commissioner? Shaul said, follow him again as he does what? Follow Mashiach. So they don't sound like there's some inerrancy or some heresy if we were to say that Shaul told us that we have to do it no more. Mm-hmm. Throughout scripture, we are told that there is one message and only one message, and anyone speaking something different is not a Yah and can't trust him. You smell like bad intentions and lies, get away from me. I don't trust you. You got them hellish screws. Yeah. Don't touch me. Don't be in my house, get away from me. How are you going to try the spirits by the Ruach if you don't have a solid foundation to judge and discern it in the first place? Right. Shaul came from a Pharisaical background, so he knew Torah. Thing is, he was sent out by legalistic, power-hungry Pharisees who wanted to pervert Torah to capture those that were actually following it. So they chose a brother that was zeal. He had full of zeal. He believed Torah, but the thing is, he was following people that didn't believe it. They wanted to pervert it. Mm-hmm. And so he's thinking he wanted to on a cleansing mission to fight on behalf of Torah, but he's going against the very people that's actually following it and understands it. He was on a crooked path. He was just on a crooked path until Mashiach came and said, hey, here I is. Why you persecuting me, boy? Don't you know it's hard to kick against the briars? The goals, the pricks? Anybody ever see a nail just hanging out of a piece of wood? You're like, no, I'm going to kick that. I'll be visiting you in the hospital. You're like, Lord, could you pray over me? Like, I can't cast out stupidity. That's a view, that ain't it? That's a view. He tried. He tried. Just pray for them, all right? Pray my health and strength, and yeah, I know this. But he had to get his alignment. He got his alignment on the road to Damascus. And he followed that horse and got blind. And he's like, no, I'm going to change. I'm going to align. You still going to go there, but you will be in alignment with Torah now instead of fighting against it. Because when you're fighting against him, he's saying you're kicking against the pricks. Mm-hmm. And that ain't going to work out. He had the word, but he was off track like many of us are today. There's a lot of people that got a lot of zeal A lot of people that know Scripture, but they don't know Scripture in their heart because they're not actually applying it.
Mm.
So what those people that don't care, lack in zeal and actually a heart for it, they have it, but somebody needs to train them and put them on the right path so that they can actually do more help than harm. A lot of us are like Shaul, going thinking that we doing right, and we doing it for y'all, and then y'all like, hold on, let me line you up real quick. Let me get you together. You know, you ain't a mama yet, but you got a mama spirit. You the type that would just take, you know how the old mothers used to do it, they just take it and they just like twist the skin meat on your shoulder. And they be smiling the whole time, acting like they doing it, but you know they grab you real close and you whisper on their breath, you know, I'm gonna beat your children in this place. And praise the Father. They don't skip a beat, praise and hit you with that tambourine and then keep on playing it. Because then he's like, no, you out of alignment. So you just need me to get you back together. That's all. That's all. Or you tell me, you just tired. He just tired of you. He just want to sleep. He just need a line. He need that lullaby. And then others of us are like the Pharisees. So we want to stay on that crooked path, and we want authority, we want power, we want people to look at us. This is why those today can't even understand Romans chapters 7 and 8. Write those down. Romans chapters 7 and 8, when they still want to get discombobulated with what Shaul said. And when you're looking at those chapters, out of that one book that Shaul authored, he authored other ones, but just out of that one, what they're doing is they're making Shaul look like he's schizophrenic or double-minded. And you know what the scripture says about a double-minded person, right? They are unstable in all their ways. So how would Shaul end up being unstable when Kepha said, y'all ain't going to be able to understand this stuff if you don't know Torah? What was everybody following that was commissioned by Yah following, even before it was given to Moshe? Abraham was following it, and he taught his children to follow it. So how can it be done away with? Are we at the last one, y'all? We down to it? Look, y'all don't answer this one. Ain't nobody fell asleep. Praise you. Y'all know you wanted to. Are you saying that he is double-minded? Are you? The very man that you said, I'm following, he said, I got to do it. So then if you say that, then will you say he's double-minded? So now you're following a double-minded man? Then what does that say about you? I mean, you're double-minded too here, right? Mm-hmm. What does Shaul say in Romans 15 and 4? Let's go to that one. Let's go to that one. Got a Bible, got the scripture, might as well use it, right? 15:4. And it reads, for whatever was written before was written for our instruction, that through endurance and encouragement of the scriptures, we might have the expectation. What was written before was written for our instruction. What was written before for our instruction? Torah. On 2 tablets of stone. That through endurance and encouragement means I'm enduring by following it in disregard to when people saying I ain't got to do it no more, it's done away with. And I'm being encouraged by still following it when everybody's against me. Of the scriptures, we might have the expectation. Thank you, Shaul. Everybody give him a hand clap. If Torah is done away with, then how can you believe in Yehoshua? Based off of what Yochanan 5:46 through 47 says. Let's go there. Let's see what the Apostle Yochanan or John said. I'm so glad that y'all stuck it out with me this morning. Y'all stuck with the moray. I know y'all going to be hiding from me next week. Hallelujah. No, we don't do that. You can hold that finger up all you want to. There's a Master Charlie in here. Chapter 5, verses 46 to 47. For if ye believed Moshe, you would have believed me, since he wrote about me. But if you do not believe his writings, how shall you believe my words? Mashiach was talking that talk. How you going to believe Moshe? If you believed him, you would have believed me. What scripture? Oh, right. Have your first one right now. It's
I did.
John, Yohanan 5, verses 46 and 47. The last two verses in chapter 5 of Yohanan and John. Because he wrote about me. But if you don't believe his writings, how shall you believe my words? That's why you say it's done away with, because you don't believe that. That was for that time. We under grace. Grace. Ain't that what they say? We under that. I know he's like, he just playing tonight. Y'all should have talked to me and said, you know what, more ain't what you need to do. But the thing is, I'm angry because I felt the Father's anger while doing this.
Okay.
They gonna quit lying on me. Y'all ever got mad when somebody lied on you?
Mm-hmm.
Said you said something you didn't say?
Mm-hmm.
You get in your feelings a little bit, don't you? You get mad. You're like, and then when you found out that they said it, like, oh, who said what?
Who said it?
Right there? Oh, okay.
And we should ask.
Don't say that, no, I'm just gonna talk to him.
We should ask.
I was gonna talk to him. Oh, what did he say? I asked for you.
I asked you.
I ain't say, but I asked for you.
Yes. Right.
Oh, I want to sift you.
Ooh.
I want to examine you closely.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all remember that. All right, now Psalm or Tehillim 119, verse 1. Write that down. And that one is saying that Torah is the way. Y'all gonna see where I'm going with this in a little bit. Tehillim or Psalms 119, verse 1. The first in that chapter they already snapping. Saying Torah is the way. But it's done away with, right? Then verse 142 out of Tehillim 119. That says Torah is truth. So first it says Torah is the way. And then 142nd verse in that same chapter says Torah is truth. And then when you look at Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 46 and 47 again, says that Torah is life. So Torah is the way. Torah is truth. Y'all see where I'm going with it? Torah is life. All right, now what did Mashiach say? He said that player stuff right there. What did Mashiach say about himself? He said, I am the way, the what? Truth. And oh, shut your mouth. No, he didn't say that because Torah is not away with. No. Don't do that because now that means that I can't keep lying. Why you do that? Why you say that? No, it wasn't supposed to be for me because I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Where script said.
Torah is the way, the truth, and the life. And then Mashiach had the audacity to come back and say, man, that's about me. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. And he didn't just finish it with that. He said, no one comes to Abba unless you go through me. That's some player stuff right there. That's that talk right there. You get a standing ovation for that. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes to Dad but through me. And that was in Yohanan 14 and 6. Write it down. Write it down. He took 3 scriptures and put it into one. Because he was talking about himself. So again, if it's done away with, then you saying that Yahushua was done away with then, right? Mm-hmm. And then if he's done away with, then redemption sure enough got to be done away with. Then basically you ain't no different from my quote-unquote awakened Israelites that's saying that, oh, he's the white man's guy. He's a figment of somebody's imagination. He ain't real. It's like, then you have no redemption, buddy. Because Torah in that aspect couldn't save you. That's why we had to do the daggone atonement every year. But when Mashiach fulfilled Torah by dying for us, no more sacrifice other than you being a living one.
Right. And
daily sacrificing yourself for Torah or for him. Did I touch somebody? Because it touched me. I felt it. Then Yachanan 1:1 says, in the beginning. Don't do it. Yeah, don't do it, Yachanan. Don't do it, John. Shut up. In the beginning was Torah / Mashiach. And the Torah was with Yah. And the Torah, or word, was Yah. Somebody better slap Yachanan because he's going to get beat for saying this stuff. Because we don't want to hear that. Because I'm not under it no more. It's done away with. It's not away with. It was on the cross. It nailed it.
It don't say that.
It nailed it up. Well, they say it, so it had to say it. Reverend Dr. Feelgood said it. And then in verse 14 of Yachanan, the first chapter, it says that Torah became flesh and tabernacled, or Sukkot. Sukkoted with us. Because that's what tabernacle is.
Mm-hmm.
There is no getting away from his Torah or word if you profess to be his. If you say you are his, then you must be in alignment with him. Mm-hmm. Which means you're going to bow down and worship him. Like the song said, there's going to be a song. You're going to ask for forgiveness because you know you did wrong. And you're going to stay away from the people that told you to stay away from. I'm not against if people want to, you can love whoever you want to love. But as for me and mine, we're going to stay with Yisrael. I love them to life. I have people in my family that married people that weren't Israelites. They end up being grafted in and they love Yah, even though that's kind of like the organized religion type stuff. But they have a heart for Yah, and I know they do. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, that's for me and mine, no ma'am, no sir. We got to stay home. And that's not saying nothing bad about people. It's like nobody has a problem when they say it about us. And they say it for them. But when we say it, everybody mad because we don't want to be with everybody else. Mm-hmm. But that's what we taught them because we was trying to be with everybody else. And if y'all see any of my kids when I have them doing it, y'all let me know. Just want y'all to say that. And if y'all know and y'all don't tell me, it's going to be trouble. But again, we have to get back to him. We can't just profess him, but not do what he said. We can't say that I'm following you, but we ain't in alignment with his word. You look at Yachanan 14 and 15. We just can't get away from him, can we? John talking too much. Does he need to shut up? I know the enemy wants him to shut up. Somebody go there, 14 and 15. You know, I'm tired of reading. I want somebody else to read it. Yachanan 14, 15. Go ahead, sister. You read it? Go ahead.
14, 15.
Say it loud so they can hear you.
If you love me, you shall guard my commands.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't say that. Read it again, because I don't believe you wrote that, because you got your pen in your hand. You wrote that.
If you love me, you shall guard my commands.
If I love him, guard or shamar his commands, the ones that done away with. How can I guard them if they done away with, sister? You speaking heresy, ain't you? Well, that's how they act when we follow what this word says. Oh, you being legalistic. That's heretical. We don't have to do that no more. You trying to force me. It's like, okay, well, don't say that to the cop that's giving you a ticket because you doing 20 over the speed limit. Mm-hmm. You know, say that because you got caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing. Mm-hmm. Say it then. I don't hear nobody telling the cop, you trying to judge me. Judge not lest you be judged. And then they misinterpreting that. It said you can't judge what somebody's doing when they're doing wrong if you're doing the very same thing. I know y'all about to be happy because we about to let it go. Is it a coincidence that in Yachanan 14:12 through 14, it speaks of answered prayer being promised? Or speaks of answered prayer, before promising the Ruach. He promised to answer your prayers before he said, I'm going to give you the Spirit or the Ruach. Mm-hmm. That's Yachanan 14, verses 12 through 14. And And then in 15 through 18 of Yohanan 14, he said, those who keep his commandments, or Torah, will receive the Ruach, will receive what? The Spirit. In Proverbs, or Mishlei, 28:9, Yah says, the prayers of the one who doesn't listen to Torah is an abomination to him. I will say that again. Proverbs, Mishlei 28:9 says, the prayers of one who doesn't listen to Torah is an abomination. It's crap. So how would you like to know that you praying to him and he's like, your prayer is an abomination? Why is it an abomination? Because I wouldn't listen to your Torah. Proverbs 28:7 says that whoever shamars or keeps his Torah is a discerning son. I mean, you got discernment. You're a discerning child. Look at your life and see if it lines up with Torah, and then look at the state of that life. In Hebrews 10:16 through 17, Yah writes, Torah writes Torah in our hearts. Now, I'm not going to read that. Y'all read it, but just write down chapter 10, verses 16 through 17 in Hebrews or Ibrahim. He said he's going to write the Torah in our hearts. If the Torah is done away with, why would he write it in our hearts? Unless somebody's lying again. This is also, this very same thing is spoken in the books of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. Although Israel had left without leaven in them physically, they definitely carried it with them in their heart and their mind. Remember, in the Hebrew every mind, heart and mind are simultaneously as one. The word lab is 3820, which means heart, mind, will, and inner man. And it's spelled L-E-B, lab, number 3820, which means heart, mind, will, and inner man. Michael said looking at the man in the mirror, but you got to look at the one inside. And from a spiritual level or aspect, that is why they continue to break covenant and commandment, as we were told that a little leaven, again, I told you, leaven's a whole lump. That's Galatians 5 and 9. And then we just look at organized religion, and even those of us today that know our heritage, and look at how much leaven jacks everything up. Remember, when you are out of alignment, you walk a thin line. Write down 1 Yohanan or 1 John 2 and 4. I'm not going to read the rest of these because we're about to let it go. But 1 John or Yohanan Aleph 2 and 4. And I'm going to end it with this. I was a wrestler. Y'all know that. I was a freshman. Then I was one of the senior stars of the wrestling team. I had to practice with him. I didn't want to practice with him because I was like, well, this guy's more experienced than me and stuff like that. I was like, well, I'll go ahead and do it because I just didn't want to look a certain kind of way. But I always had that fighting competitor spirit. So I'm like, well, let me go ahead and give it a while, see what I can do. Going up against somebody that I felt was better than me. And we had this thing called sharks and minnows. Everybody circle around and one person get in there and you stay in there until you lose. It is just you and that person. I lock up with them. I always like to do that, lock up with people to see what strength they got. And we going, he couldn't get in, I couldn't get in, and all of a sudden I found some way that I worked myself in, got my hand underhooked in, and everything just seemed to line up. And then when there was an alignment, that was the first time I had never thrown anybody before. I never even attempted to, but I felt something different when everything was aligned. And it was like muscle memory. I had never done it. My body just knew what to do, and it just moved right in it, and I just threw it. He had never been thrown before. And so it was a bewilderment to him as well as everybody else, because not only had the thing that he never thought would happen to him happen, but it happened to someone that had never done it. But when they aligned themselves, then they were able to go into the movement. So when I aligned myself, I went into the movement, and I threw my opponent. When we align ourselves in the movement with this, we're able to throw Satan. That's how he can end up getting under your feet, because you threw him. You slapped him down. Because what? You aligned yourself with this word, and you can feel it. Y'all have had those moments when you actually were starting to click on all cylinders, and you felt like you were starting to align with it. Then all of a sudden you're like, I can't believe I just did this. Last thing. Y'all know how I love my vehicle. I call her Ruby Red. it was in a predicament that it's in because when I had a chance to do an alignment, I knew I needed to do a will alignment on it, but I kept on putting it off. I just kept on driving, just kept on doing it. I wasn't taking care of it like I needed to. And the thing is, I knew, but I just kept on saying, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And then it started making noises that it didn't used to make. Then it started feeling different. And then it started getting scared. And then one time, because I didn't get the wheel aligned, wheel came off. And it was just by the grace of Yah that it came off where it did, where it didn't cause no damage. All the time I've been up and down the road, it could have popped off at any time. And it could have went all bad. And it would have been my fault because I knew that I wasn't in alignment. My vehicle wasn't in alignment. But I'm like, I'm still going to go anyways till the wheels fall off, literally. And so Yah used that to let me see that. See, you know, and a lot of us are just like that. We know that we need to be aligned. We know that we're getting away from Yah's word. We know that we're not spending the time with him that we need to. We know that we're listening to everything else except for him. And then it makes us feel good to have somebody tell us what we ain't got to do when he said, no, you still got to do it. And we know that if we keep on going down the road we're going, something's going to happen. But we keep on putting it off. They say don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Remember when they do an altar call and the song they sing is come to Jesus just now? I mean, you know you need it now. Come on. You know you need prayer. Come on right now. If you don't align yourself with him, he's going to draw a line in the sand. And you're going to die. And we ain't talking about physically, we're talking about spiritually, emotionally, we're talking about for all eternity. What's the purpose of living this life and you still don't get to hear